G'day guys, welcome back to Supercoach with DR. For today's video, we're going to take a look at a player who many coaches are talking about at the moment and possibly looking to bring into their sides, and that's Jack Viney. What I won't do is tell you whether or not you should or you shouldn't bring him into your side, but what I will do is give you some of the pros, give you some of the cons, and then you can make your own informed decision. Because remember, we're all in different positions with our sides. Some of us may be looking to change up some structure. Some of us may be looking to get an extra 1 to 200k in the bank to make some other moves elsewhere. As I said, everyone's in a different position at the moment. But we'll start off by talking about why people are looking to bring Jack Viney in. And that's obviously because he scored a whopping 186 at 2.5 points per minute in round one. He looks fit, he looks hungry, and I think he's got a real point to prove, particularly after losing the captaincy to Gawn. And I think this will also allow him to concentrate a little bit more on his own game and possibly play with some more freedom also. He's a free agent at the end of the year, so he'll be looking to put his best foot forward. And the other thing we've got to remember is that he arguably plays with the best ruck in the competition and should get silver service from Gawn versus some of his weaker ruck opponents earlier on in the season. And probably most importantly, he's got the potential to make you a really quick 100k, possibly up to 200k in the next 2 to 6 weeks. That can make you some money now and also making some money down the track. And it may give you the freedom or the money in the bank to make a move, someone like a Robertson to a Howe in the back line, for example. So there's a lot to like about trading Jack Viney into your sides. And also keep in mind that those two price rises, the next two price rises, will include that big score of 186 in the first round. Unlike seasons past, that round one score would have only been in that price cycle just the once before we get to that fourth round and that first score from round one would drop out. So that's another big reason why Jack Viney is looking to make some serious cash early on in the season. But it isn't always that easy, is it? What are some of the cons? Well, he's never come close to finishing with an elite Supercoach season average for a midfield. His best season average is only 96.4, and that was back in 2016. So he's never averaged 100 in his whole career. So we'll go down below and just check out these averages. So we can see his averages there. We may have thought in probably 2015, 2016 that Viney is really ready to break out and become an elite scorer. But as you can see, that was his best year. Went down to a 90, 92, and unfortunately for him, down to just an 80.9 in 2019. He did play 21 matches as well, so it's not like he didn't get any continuity into his game, maybe like a 2018 or your 2015. He played all 21 matches, so that is a real concern. What was the reason? Why did he get that 80.9? We know that Melbourne as a team had a real dog of a year. Obviously being the captain, that would have been a lot of pressure on him. But is that an excuse to come up with a measly 80.9 average? Yeah, it is a bit of a concern for me. The other concern I've got is that he does tend to chuck in a few absolute stinkers, unlike our real uber primos. So if we have a look here, Supercoach score, we've got, 62, 48, 14. Not sure what happened there. Down here we've got our sort of 65s, 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 48. So there's not a heap of those really low scores, but for in a season, particularly when they're around those sort of 40 to 60s for one of your starting midfielders, simply isn't good enough. I suppose this season, 64, no massive stinkers, really, apart from that 64, 59, not great. Into 2018, 48 not good, 58 not good. Nice little run there. So 116 up to 118 there. Terrific effort there. And we know how Melbourne went towards the back half of that season. And then in 2019, if you look at these scores here, 1, 2, 3, only 4 tons for the year. So should we be looking to bring in a bloke and maybe downgrade him, from someone like a Dunkley and get a Viney in? Well, looking at those scores, it seems like a really silly move, doesn't it? Because the 400s, a 52, these are the stinkers that I'm talking about. The 62, the 41 there, the 63, the 59, full of stinkers for a premium midfielder there. So that certainly does have me concerned as well. If we do go back down as well and have a look at his career tally for games. Durability is a bit of a slight concern. We see 13 games, 16, 18, and 7, and only 20 or more games 3 times in his career. So a bit of a slight concern. And given the fact that he's, prone to having those really, really quiet games as well as some really low scores, that's certainly a con for Jack Viney as well. The other thing that we'll need to think about as well is that we'll most likely have to use 2 trades with this Viney situation. One to obviously trade him in if we haven't got him, and most likely one to trade him out, because I don't necessarily see him becoming a keeper. I'm hoping if I do trade him in, that he has some really red hot early season form, and if he tapers out after that, then that's okay, because I can probably just sideways trade him to one of these real uber premiums. Well, that's the hope anyway, or at least a fallen premium. We've got to remember as well that his last score in round 1 was a personal best by 40 points. So I don't think that this will be a regular thing with Viney either. So it's a really tough decision. Lots of these things, it's a bit of guesswork. I did outline some of the pros at the start of the video there. If you believe that that's going to happen, if you believe that, he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder, a point to prove, he's just going to come out in beast mode this year and have the best the best year of his whole career, then I think that it could be a pretty decent move. I think he's only 26 years old as well, so certainly got some really, really good footy ahead of him. He's a contested beast. He plays that contested style of game. That is really good for Supercoach scoring. Well, last year it wasn't great for him, was it? But the decision's up to you now. I have outlined some of the good things, some of the not so good things about Viney. What am I going to do? Well, I'm still not 100% sure. I'm certainly thinking about it really, really carefully. The trouble for me is that either Dunkley or Oliver would have to go to accommodate bringing Jack Viney in, and I'm not really sure if I'm overly comfortable doing that. I've almost got my heart set on already trading Dunkley to Dangerfield, and I may not be able to even afford to be able to bring in Jack Viney depending on the rookie situation come team sheets when they're announced. So I can't give you an answer as to exactly what I'm doing yet, but what I can say is that I'm thinking really, really carefully about it, and we've got to experiment with different things this year. And that quick cash grab I'm thinking it's going to be around 100k within the first couple of weeks. That's really, really tempting for me. But if he comes out and scores, a 45, a 75, a couple of scores like that, then I'll probably have some egg on my face and really, really regret making the trade if I decide to do that. While we are here, we'll just take a quick look. So with a projected score of 95 next round, he's looking to rise over 50k. Projected score round 4 of 114. 102, 95. We'll look at that break even. So with a 95, his break even will go down to another -1. And depending on his next score, well, we could easily see a 100k rise within the first 2 weeks with Jack Viney. It's certainly no guarantee, but if we can expect that he goes somewhere just even around the 90 mark in the next couple of weeks, we will be looking to make some really, really nice early cash. So again, let me know what you're doing. I'm still not sure at this stage. I'm really on the fence. I'll need to think about it a little bit more, and we'll obviously all need to wait for the team sheets to be announced, because we may not even be able to trade out someone like a Viney, trade in someone like a Viney, because we've got other pressing options, most likely our rookies and our benches. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate all the support, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.